Hello everybody, it's great to be back for this year's low carb lifestyle long weekend. Such a great lineup, and I must admit I'm a bit overwhelmed to be rubbing shoulders with many in the health and wellness space who have guided me and inspired me on my own health journey. Today I'm going to be chatting about the health journey of myself and my husband, how my passion was ignited and turning that passion into my purpose, and I'm going to share a couple of little tips along the way. So a little bit about me. My name's Michelle from Holistic Pillars. Gosh, I turned 56 last week. 56. I am a project manager with a leading energy company here in Australia. I just love my job. I'm a bit of a health nut and just love anything around health and wellness. I'm a nutrition network advisor, done a number of courses and studied under the nutrition network, among other things. I am married to the most amazing, supportive, gorgeous human on this planet. I'm well supported by some amazing family and friends. I love all things travel, adventure, outdoors, exercise, anything to do with sunshine, movement, being with people, love cooking. So what's my story? We all have one, don't we? I love my story. We have totally embraced it. Yeah, it was tough. And it was a bit sad, but there was so much growth and so much opportunity to change and to look at how we were living and make a change for the positive ways. I apologise to everybody who has already heard my story, but it is my story. It all started around about 15 years ago. My husband had a stroke. Blocked carotid artery, needing some surgery. About 5 years later, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, resulting in a prostatectomy. About a year after that, he had a quadruple bypass. And almost immediately following that, the prostate cancer returned, requiring radiation, extensive radiation. And during this period of time, he also lost both of his parents. And I guess caring for him and not really knowing what was going on, I was not travelling too well myself, and on reflection, all the signs were there. I had endometriosis, I had irritable bowel, I had a lot of gut issues, I had high cholesterol, I was pre-diabetic, I was carrying a lot of weight, I had foggy head, mood swings, really irritable. And at the time, again, we were both highly stressed with the lifestyle that we were leading and all of these issues that were happening to us. It was pretty clear that we were insulin resistant and quite unwell, heading down a bad path. So we were getting sicker. Despite living a healthy lifestyle, we were getting sick. So I got curious. So the curiosity was researching, every workshop I could think of attending, conferences, following everybody I could, looking at new ways of living. And in that process, I came across, first of all, paleo and then Tim Noakes. And then I completed the Real Meal Revolution by Tim Noakes and understanding all about low carb living, and that was when my world changed. So yes, curiosity, research, and through all of this started to realise that I needed to surround myself with the right people. And the first one I started with was my GP. So I changed my GP. I actually found somebody who would support a low carb or more holistic approach to medicine, and that was Dr. Z Shan Aran. And yeah, he was the stabiliser at a moment of trauma and illness, and he was just brilliant, real guiding light for us. I then found an LCHF, low carb dietitian, Vicky Carril. So Vicky took us under her wing and we did her 6-week low carb challenge, which was again eye-opening, fantastic information on everything relating to low carb living or the low carb lifestyle. So it was everything from what is metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance versus sensitivity, fat adaptation, the good oils, bad oils, sugars, listening to your body, all of those sort of things around low carb living and the benefits, of course, of low carb living. And doing her course a few times was an eye-opener, and it really helped cement the lifestyle. So what did this mean and what were we learning? We were learning that we were kidding ourselves. We weren't healthy. We were both highly inflamed. We had metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance. The food pyramid was not our friend, and counting calories, getting on scales, measuring food, going on diet after diet was not working. And being a yo-yo dieter was not working, and what we were eating was not working. We were also stressed. We were soldiering on, having very busy lives, and were continuously stressed. Something had to change. So changes began. It certainly wasn't smooth sailing, but we started to make some small changes. And what did we do initially was just start to slow down, start to say no to some things, clearing the diary a little bit more. We were a bit committed actually to, not having more than one activity on a day, instead of being here, there and everywhere, every day, all day. So just actually having one thing a day, that was a big slowdown and taking a deep breath. The next thing we focused on was the quality of the food, so just eating real food. So that was one thing Vicky did teach us, jerfing. So I don't eat anything out of packets. I gave away mainly, I was going to say took a little time, but bread, rice and pasta. I've never been a dessert eater, so that wasn't a huge thing for me. We started introducing fasting protocols, which was good. Again, baby steps with that, so just start small and work your way up. Through the whole process and learnings, it was pretty clear that it wasn't just nutrition that we needed to pay attention to. There was also, exercise, mindfulness, relaxation techniques, connections, rest, sleep, things like that. So we went about improving or trying to improve those things. So we started looking at movement and the best types of exercise for us to still exercise for health. We were looking at emotional support, so engaging people that could really help us through the trauma and illness. We started looking at mindfulness and relaxation techniques, and looking at sleep really, and rest. So learning the whys of good quality sleep. Probably a downfall of mine. I don't get to sleep early enough in the evenings to feel energised the next day. So let's fast forward 7 years. I think it's how long we've been doing this. So 7 years, I think. Our markers are all showing the best signs. Our blood work is fantastic. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I don't have high cholesterol. Our weight's stayed off, so I've lost about 10-15 kilos. Hubby about the same. Oh no, he's about 5 or 6. Eczema, gut issues, irritability gone, so much calmer. We're enjoying it. So we're enjoying great movement daily. We're getting loads of rest. We're having a much slower lifestyle and enjoying it. Lots more energy. So all in all, good. So creating your passion project. So with all the lifestyle changes that we've made and the learnings that we've had, my passion for health and wellness was really ignited, which is, what I love. So I started doing some study, and I've done the Advanced Certificate in Nutrition and Health, specialising in weight management. I've also done a series of the Nutrition Network training, the Network Advisor, the LCHF, and I'm looking at ketogenic nutrition and treatment. I've also done health coaching and the reversal of diabetes, and I've just enrolled in the latest one, which is the new neurology, which will be really interesting. Can't wait. So there's exciting things ahead. So Holistic Pillars was born. So Holistic Pillars is really now my foundation for sharing the journey and knowledge, embracing my own journey, and also hoping that I can inspire and help other people in their own journey and their own challenges. It's really just a blog, a website, Instagram and Facebook, and it's recipes, it's stories, it's just all sorts of information. And Holistic Pillars really is the pillars of health. So we've got fuel, mind, move and rest. And I've broadly categorised them because you could always have another 3 or 4 pillars. But I always love to add in connection, so maybe that's going to be a new pillar about community and connection being key. But I just believe that we should be living all 4 pillars equally. So my specialty is nutrition, so I suppose I do lean towards that, and I have a lot of knowledge in that. But equally important are your movement, the mindfulness, and then the rest. So check out my website. Love you to jump on board and give me feedback, and follow me. So we're transforming, because I never say transformed because we're always a work in progress. I've studied, and I'll always study, and we've created our wellness space. So that's the website, Facebook, Instagram platforms, and also my new YouTube channel, which is exciting. So we've been living and loving this lifestyle now for, I think it's around 7.5 years. But the whole foundation is about making choices, and also, your wish or your yearning to change, and making those lifestyle changes to suit you. My learnings and my study is now the basis or the foundation of my coaching, my sharing of knowledge, and supporting others in their own health journeys. It's really quite funny because people often ask me, how do I stay aligned to our lifestyle choices and the changes that we've made? Here's just a couple of tips from me. Number 1, your why. Understanding and having a strong why. My why is so firmly embedded, it reflects every decision I make, really. I simply want to live a life free of illness, disease and trauma. I want to remain calm, balanced, and have loads of energy and zest. Do you know your why? And I often ask that question of people, and they say, I want to lose weight. And to me, that's not your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Is it to enjoy time running around with the kids? Is it because you have a goal and you want to hike mountains, and excess weight can make that more difficult? What's your real why? Number 2, knowing your core values. What are your core values? To me, core values are the essence of you, the foundation of you. They're everything that makes you tick. They're everything that you align to. Mine are trust, loyalty, inclusiveness, honesty, authenticity, connection, care, respect. You know, most decisions that I make, or everyone would make, most decisions I make are directly aligned to my why and my core values. Number 3, I guess through this whole process and journey, the one thing I've learned the most is the art of listening to my body. It will tell you what you want to hear. You just have to tune in and listen to it. And then again, have the courage to act on what it's telling you. And one example of that is food. So it's been real trial and error with me, and I think I've sort of found a number of key things that I don't tolerate and I just therefore don't have. But I'm always asking myself the question how that's making me feel. The other thing is relationships. So, you know, I guess it's okay to create some space with relationships that aren't serving you well. So I want to have relationships that, you know, you have a good connection, you feel heard, you feel embraced, it's a mutual conversation, and it's actually okay to create some distance if you need to. Work. Is the culture and the environment that you're working in stressing you out or energizing you? You know, I absolutely love my full-time job as a project lead. I love the people, the culture, the connection, the support, the flexibility, the type of work I'm doing. I actually choose to work for this company and I love going there and being involved every day. But are you happy? Are you happy with the work that you're in? Is it making you stressed? I remember many years ago working for a large organisation, and you know, I felt every day the workload was excessive. I was always stressed. I was drained. I was working really long hours. I wasn't getting the connections with the people, and I was also being taken away from my other, you know, the loves of my life and the family and the connections and my exercise and all of the things that I love to do. And I was just miserable. So I had a choice, and my choice I made was to walk away from it. So I obviously didn't do it without going to another job, but I found another job. I quit that one and moved to where I am now and have never looked back. But what I guess I'm saying is we actually have a choice. So now let's talk about exercise. I love my exercise. I exercise on a daily basis. I do it for cardiovascular health. I do it for just flexibility and strength. And I actually like the little gym that I go to in the community and the people. But there are days when I've done all my HIIT training and you know, loads of squats and loads of this and loads of that, and I actually wake up and I'm sore. So actually, it's, you know, I sort of feel that it's actually okay to listen to my body and say, you know, pull it back. Or I might sit back on a Sunday night when I'm doing my planning for my next week's exercise and locking it in, where I might pull things back a little bit, or I might just go, I'm going to just not do anything for a couple of days and you know, I've got a little bit of a sore hip or whatever it might be. But it's actually the art and the tuning in to what your body's saying and adjusting it accordingly. And it's actually okay to choose to go for long walks or go for a hike instead of, you know, smashing it out at doing a HIIT session that, you know, you don't want to do, or your body's not wanting to do. And then finally I've got rest. So again, listening to my body. rest is probably my little bit of a weakness as far as when I'm talking about rest, I'm talking about sleep. So sleep is probably a downfall. I need to get more, because the next day I can tell instantly if I haven't had at least my 7 hours. And when you're up early, most mornings, it's important to get to bed, and it is something that I've got to work on. But I know my body, and I know when I wake up the next morning and I haven't had enough sleep, how I feel. And I'm the only one that's in charge of that feeling. So, work in progress on that one. And finally, number 4. So this might actually surprise a few people, I don't really know. But I sometimes feel overwhelmed, stressed, not quite right, out of balance, slightly foggy in my thinking. And, sometimes in the blink of an eye, you've popped on a kilo or 2 because you're just not quite right. So what do? I've just taught myself in those moments to stop, to breathe, and take a pause, and that it's actually okay to do it. Now, my little resets might take, 3 hours, 3 days, or 3 weeks, but I actually feel it and let myself do what I feel I need to do. And my reset can be a number of things that just make me feel good. And it would be, writing in my journal. It might be having a massage with my beautiful myotherapist, Michelle. It might be checking in with my naturopath and having a slight tweak on some of my herbs because my energy's low or something like that. I'll always put a call in with my doctor just to sort of do a bit of a check-in and maybe do some blood work, because it's not frequent, but it might be every 6 months or so that this might happen. I'll clear the diary so that I have less social commitments and more downtime. So it might be long walks, take a hike, those sort of things. Obviously connections and connecting with family and friends. Whatever works for you. I guess the most important thing is that at the end of the little reset, I've recharged and can come bouncing back. But I actually allow myself the time, instead of soldiering on like I used to, I actually now allow myself the pause and the reset, and actually calling it out. I'm just having a little bit of downtime. I just need it. And do the exercise. So again, I might pull back a little bit on the heavy training and things like that if I'm just feeling a little bit just overwhelmed. So that's my top 4. Hi, and thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed a few of my tips for helping you on your health journey. And I'd also like to thank you for listening to my story. But for me, it's now beyond my story. So my passion and my purpose and the creation of Holistic Pillars. And I'm really excited about the future. I actually don't know what that looks like yet, which is really part of the excitement. Please reach out if you'd like to share your story with me, or just to make contact and say hi. Love to hear from you. My details will be at the end of the video. Catch you soon. Bye.